Man, hey y'all. Welcome to Ben on the Bayou. hmm Well, we're gonna learn a little bit stuff today, right? We're gonna learn a little bit stuff today. Here we go. So, hey y'all, I see y'all coming in. I see y'all coming in. Y'all welcome to Ben on the Bayou, where I was bent many times but never broken. So I'm gonna share my own stories throughout my life, and I'm gonna have other people come in as well. As I got a guest coming next week. She's gonna be on the screen. Sometimes I'm gonna have somebody with me in here, and sometimes they're gonna be on the screen with me, right? But my point of this is because mental health is such a big issue. Some people feel like they're alone. We're not trying to do that. And once I realized my stories, helped other people, more people wanted to join, so I'm here for it. I'm here for it, right? I'm also gonna put it on Spotify. I think Apple Music. Like I'm working on all that stuff, so we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together like we did since day one when I started on social media. But um, I do have a lot of people that follow me. A lot of good friends on here. Hey everybody, as you can see in the comment section, and a lot of them been waiting to get started. So with tonight's episode, y'all, it's gonna be basically me just telling you a little bit more about me, right? Because I'm gonna break down each part of my life. But today on Instagram, I had a question brought to my attention. I had a question brought to my attention, right? And that's one of my favorite questions, actually. That question was, what's the difference on how you live now versus how you lived then? Y'all, as a Cajun, I don't know if it's TV, social media, but everybody seemed to assume I'm supposed to look a certain way, you know, because they see me because they see me the way I dress or do my hair and my makeup. I don't know what everybody has that makes them believe I'm supposed to be like a certain type just because I'm Cajun. So it's hard for a lot of people to believe I was raised like I was raised. Of course, on a bayou, on a houseboat, on the water. I was a water Cajun. Well, we hunted and did all that stuff. So some of the parts of my life is going to explain some of that and how I got to where I am today. But just to give it um, a smaller detail about my life. So when I was younger, okay, a lot of y'all know I lived on a houseboat pretty much. We had a small trailer, but we on a houseboat most of the time. We didn't have electricity. We had generators, no running water. We had a cistern, stuff like that. And that just brings me to where I am today. That's also part of who I am today. Because when I was little, I didn't know my life was unique. And if you go back on a lot of my videos on YouTube, you can see a lot of stories that I told. And I'm going to keep telling with pictures and whatever the case is. But I didn't know I was unique. When I was little, I liked it. I loved it. And then I got to the age of being poor. Or I didn't go to dances, many dances. I think I've been to two. Um, just having to leave and go on the weekends to hunt and or fill our tags or whatever the case was. I just felt like it wasn't the life I want to live. And I always said since I was a little girl that I was going when I get bigger, I'm gonna turn out to be something. I'm not gonna be like my people. Again, little did I know how unique I was. So as I continued to grow and wanted to be better, because I never wanted to be the poor me growing up, right? I went through a lot of phases in my life, and that's some of the stories I'm gonna tell y'all. That's some of the stories I'm gonna tell y'all. Some are good, some are bad. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I'm nowhere near perfect, but I'm here to tell them. My friend, did you have it with the name Bent on a Bayou? Again, I was bent many times, but never broken. So some of it may consist of my Cajun culture, and some of it's just going to consist of my life journey. My life journey, because I want people to know they're not alone. I hate that. That old cliche right there just makes me mad, yo. It just make me mad. I used to hate when people say that you're not alone. Okay, where the hell you at? Where you at? That's how I thought about it. Up until I started being, trying to be an inspiration to people and saw how many people I was helping. When people started coming in my inbox, it was amazing because some of my thoughts, some of my fears, some of the things that scared me the most, a lot of people came to me and said, golly, I think that same thing. And that's when I realized you are not alone. A lot of us, a lot of us share a lot of the same thoughts, feelings, emotions. We just feel like we're alone because nobody wants to hear it. Or somebody think you lying. Well, we created a good group over the last couple of years through TikTok, Facebook, um, Instagram, and met a lot of good people. And I got a lot of people who want to share their stories. A lot of people is too scared to share their stories, and they won't tell it through me. I've got letters that people don't want their name revealed, but I'll share. They want their story out there. Um, so we got a lot. But back to me as a Cajun, I'm not I'm not looking or acting like what people assumed I was supposed to be. And that's only because I didn't want to be that poor Cajun like I was growing up. Now, do I miss it? Absolutely. I loved it when I was little. Making mud pies and all of that nonsense, on the water. Until I got older and went to middle school and, bullies or whatever the case is, you just realize you don't fit in sometime. Or I was one of the guys, whatever. I just knew I wanted to be better. Um, and another biggest thing I get, I'm not Cajun because I got all my teeth. Now that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm not Cajun because I got all my teeth. I swear to God. Again, I guess it all comes with how the world just assume we supposed to look. You know what I'm saying? So, but each time I'm gonna share bits and pieces of how I got to where I am. You know what I'm saying? So, hey y'all, I see y'all in the comments. Oh, you found me, huh? You found me? Good. So we're gonna share a lot of the stuff. Mud pies were the best back then. Hey Denise. So yeah. And as questions arrive from the people in the comment section, I'll answer the best I can. As we do live, because this right here is what we're gonna get. You're gonna get real, raw, whatever comes out my mouth. Whatever comes out my mouth. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, Julie. People projecting what we supposed to be looking like. You know, I had a guy tell me I wasn't a bayou girl, a down the bayou person because I did my hair and wore makeup. Stuff like that. So as we go and as I do lives by myself, either I'm gonna tell stories about myself or I'm gonna answer people in the comments. So again, I'm no professional, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it and do the best we can in this podcast. And I'm gonna have different people in here and on the screen sometime. You know what I mean? What's up? I see you. The Cajun way is the only way. No, Mike. That was a comment, y'all. That was a comment. That's right. No filter. No filter. We here for it. I hope so. So, back to me growing up. and not wanting to be Cajun. When I was little, when I was little, you know what? I think I'm gonna make that a whole episode by itself because it brings back a lot of feeling. It brings back a lot of thought, a lot of emotion. Because what was normal to me is not normal to all. It also shaped who I am because it was not easy. It was definitely not easy. And each part of my life, I still made it. I still made it. And that's why I want to share what I want to share. You know what I mean? Anybody in the comment section got anything to ask while we just messing around on this live? You know, because I'll answer some of y'all. That way I'm not just, I mean, you're more than welcome to come. You know what? I mean, Mike, where you at? You know what? That's a good little story. Mike, bring your Mike, bring your big head up in here. That would be that would be a cool, cute little story of of one time of one time at the camp. You know what I mean? Look, Mike said don't go there. Mike, I just put it in the chat, Mike. So this is how when I invite people to come in, you gotta click on that chat in the chat. So Mike, click on it. Come visit with us. Come on, Mike. You can be this. I mean, everybody gonna see you on here, but you know, you've got me through some of my hardest days not feeling alone. I appreciate that because before I started really all of this, Lord child, I was down and out. I was alone. I felt alone. You know what I mean? Mike, you gotta click on my link. Am I going live certain days? No, it ain't gonna be certain days. What I'm gonna do is like each time we do a live and it's people questioning me stuff or people coming in, I'm a snip it. I'm a snip it and put it on all my social media, but the whole the whole thing will be on my YouTube. It'll stay there because raw, you know, I want it as raw as can get. That way we not it's not, you know, Mike, you see where it says host? You gotta click on that, my baby. Because we need him in here to tell this one. Well, I would tell it first. Well, I would let him tell it. Mala, where are you at, Bigfoot? So yeah, my days of going live and just having raw fun or just answering questions for this podcast, it's gonna be whenever I can. You know, I work a couple of jobs. Mela. Anyway, well, we're gonna have to get Mike to come back because he say he's in a bathtub. We- We're gonna have to get Mike to come back one day so y'all can hear this. Because I want y'all to see this big old man. Um, this big old man tell this story. He's like 6 foot something. And my little 5 tooth tail. Mm-hmm. I saved his big ass. I did. It might be easy to tell you stories in segments. Yeah, and I probably will. Because once I tell my stories, like I'm gonna break them up. Because each part holds a special place in my heart. And sometimes it hurt. You know what I mean? He say, he said, you tell a story. Y'all, we call him Bigfoot because he's really a big old man. Next to me, I look like a little pea, right? I look like a little pea to him. But he was with me one time in a marsh whenever we was hunting. And I was driving a mud boat. And he was on the front. He was on the front of my boat. And I noticed a big old cottonmouth. He never saw it. And the minute I threw it in, we're gonna have to tell him because y'all gotta meet him. Mike, you just gonna have to come in one day, Mike. Because again, today was more about, kind of learning our place here, our sound, just the stuff that we're gonna talk about, just kind of prepping for all the things that's coming, y'all. And I want it to be good. I want it to be successful because you never know who you're helping out. You know what I mean? You never know who you're helping out. Yeah, I'm gonna get pulled in here. No, Mike, I'm gonna wait for you to tell the story. So, with that being said, let me see, because I got TikTok going on the side of me. Let me see if TikTok got anything they want to say. Hey, y'all. So we live on my podcast page right now. Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a process. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a learning process for all of us because we all doing it together. Confusing. City Cat, I'm gonna need you to be a guest too. City Cat, I'm gonna need you to come in and be a guest as well. City Cat's City Cat holds a very special place in my heart as well. Yeah. And I'll let her whenever she come. So we're gonna have a lot of people that you may recognize their name through our lives, through our social media and all that good stuff. You might have you might recognize some people. Like I said, whenever people's gonna come in, we're gonna be real, we're gonna be raw. I've got different setups. And I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Hey y'all. So since, like I said, I guess I'm gonna make my way off of here. I'm pretty much good to go. And instead of telling my stories live, I'll probably be live on my phone on TikTok, but here I'll be videoing. That way I can, you know, break them up a little bit. And next week I got a special guest for y'all. Stay tuned.